Anyway, you could use a break for macaroni, right? So I want you to think about, because at the end we are going to have like, little sessions. You can ask me little scenarios or things of interest. Should I continue?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And I'm back. I'm sorry. In my classes, I'm always just doing these things with my students. I'm always just joking around. I just think that humor is something that's universal, and it kind of makes things not so serious. And when people start laughing, I think you just relax and you think better. You're more creative about the types of things you want to ask. So if you don't like humor, I'm sorry.
We love humor.
You do? Okay, good. I hear Germans have their own special sense of humor.
It's dry.
So, yeah, it's dry. I do like dry, though.
Same.
I like English dry, though.
Yeah.
I love English dry
Too
humor.
hardcore for German.
It's very more hardcore than really.
No. British humor is harder than German.
It's more subtle.
Yeah.
It's more subtle.
I love British. Okay, so back to this idea of worth, and what did I say last? Who knows? What are you worth? What did I say?
Conviction.
Conviction! Thank you! You also win a prize. More drinks for everyone. Conviction. So, I do everything with conviction, and I want you to think now, to go in your mind, and think about a value that informs what you're doing. Does anyone have a value, a reason why? Someone? Be brave. Yes.
The funny thing is, I'm building up companies and do advertising, and that's also the same stuff on the strategic way, how you say that with a mission state.
Exactly.
But I think it's not so easy to know really your worth and the value, because even big companies doesn't know it, and they have a lot of intelligent, clever people who get paid for that, and even that why reason, like it's not so easy to find out and to develop, like Simon Sinek, Simon Sinek, the big why guy. But what I'm try to do is just to leave a cleaner world at the end of the day by any acting in any way what I'm doing in my life.
Yes.
And that could be like a why, which you can do, or a mission statement.
Yes.
But I think it's not so easy to understand, even for young creative people, why they're doing it, because they begin to do it because they just love it, or they can use it, or they do it. And then you have to begin to think about, okay, how I can use it for myself, or for something better or bigger. So it's, I think it's a long way, but it pays off to think about.
It's a long way, and I agree. And by the way, and that's a good segue for what I'm going to say, is that one of the things that I used to tell my students all the time when they would come in and tell me, oh, I saw this YouTube tutorial, how you could just get this bass line exactly like this. And I was like, okay. I love YouTube. I watch tutorials on YouTube all the time, same as everyone. But at the end of the day, I still have to do the work. And one of the things that's really important for people to understand, that's like, there is a beginning and there is a continuation and there's always a learning. This is not something like, okay, you leave today, one workshop, ooh, I got it all. And that's a good point you raised. It's not easy. What I'm suggesting, what I'm starting, what I'm planting, okay, is this seed, this idea of start thinking about it. If this is your passion, if this is your drive, if this is something you're committed to. Now, if it's just something that you just kind of fell into and you're like, oh, this is cool, I'm making a few bucks, okay, maybe this is not for you. But if you're committed to something on an artistic level, you feel this is my passion, this is my thing, this is my jam. This conversation is for you. You need to start thinking about things in this way. And this I am convinced about, and I am a testament to that. If I sat here to tell you my story, this could take hours. And you'd say, how did that connect to where you are right now? Even me sitting here doing this. This is a testament. I live by my values of conviction and doing things with dedication, with commitment. Is that I live by a certain set of values. And when you leave here, think about that. When I usually do workshops, I have like lists of places, resources, go online, look this up, and just start to look at words. And sooner or later, you look at something and you connect to it and go, yeah, okay, that's something I relate to. That's something that informs my work. But you never thought about it. Who does? We're too busy. All right, so all I'm saying is that this is a core of figuring out your worth. And once you start this process with yourself, you get to a point of being able to deal with this idea of how much should I charge for things even. Something as basic, as human, as part of our world as artistic people all the time. So this worth comes for me from the inside. It's a holistic thing. It's not something that someone can tell you. It's something you know. And you don't know it because it just comes and falls in your lap. You have to do the work. Okay? So I'm not a fan of hacks. And this is the 10 top tips to make it on Instagram. Okay? Blow up your feed. You know, this is a new thing I'm saying now, is these quick things. Yeah, by tomorrow you're going to have 10,000 followers. Okay, maybe. Is that what I want, though? I would rather have 500 followers that are really into what I'm doing than 10,000 just to jack up my thing. That's just me. Maybe you want that. Okay, the reason that we want this, again, is to have clarity and direction. One of the things I'm seeing a lot, people approach me, okay, I've been making records, I've been doing this and the other, but what happens next? Direction. Without worth, you have no direction. Without this purpose, you have no direction. You're just wandering through life, just doing this thing to the next. So this idea of mission is about creating direction. And I was talking to someone here earlier, I think probably the filmmaker, maybe, I don't know, I've talked to so many people since I got here, was this idea of maybe you don't need to do it all right now. When you're creative, I don't know, you know, some of you maybe can tell me when you're creative, especially when I was younger, I felt like I could do all of it. I could write, I could sing, I could dance, I could paint, I could just... When you're a creative person, you just feel like you could just do stuff because you create things. And as I got older and I started going into all these different areas, I was just kind of overwhelmed and I couldn't finish it because I was doing so much of it. And as I got older, and you know, music was always my first love, then I pursued that path and let it take me where it went. I wasn't thinking again about this idea of purpose and mission. I was just doing things, and I would get lucky, and the next thing happened, and the next thing, and led to this thing, and then I was like, oh wait, I'm good at this thing, one thing. I guess I better really push this. But without this direction, you're just doing things. And how many of you feel like you're doing a lot of things, but they don't link up? Like you're really creative in a lot of areas. How many of you? Show of hands. Really super creative. You just do like 10 different things until you can, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you like it? Do you like having so many talents? Is it good?
Sometimes, but I lose myself in so many things that I kind of focus on one special thing.
On one special thing. Yeah? Anyone else?
Yeah, same. Pretty much the same. It's just the thought of thinking that you can take charge of all these different aspects of your own life.
Yeah.
But then, you, like you said, you lose yourself, and then you realize the quality of each individual thing is not as near as good as you want it to be. So it's just sort of pointless and waste of time in the end if you don't really finish the things you really want to finish.
Exactly. One of the, I think the biggest propagandas we've been sold this idea of multitasking. I've started to believe it's the devil. You know, I used to take pride in, I can multitask. Yes, I can cook and send an email and do this promotion and make this track. And yes, I'm good. Who loves multitasking? Who's a good multitasker?
I'm good if I have to.
If you have to, oh yeah? You're good?
Yeah.
If you're in the flow, then Sometimes it happens, so it works well, but
Sometimes. It's kind of a luck thing, isn't it? Sometimes it all works. And sometimes I'll be downstairs and my kids will be like, Mom, the pizza burnt. Oh crap, I got caught up in this track. Damn. Okay? So sometimes it's luck. But I've started to believe, I guess maybe getting older, I don't know, that this idea of multitasking is a nightmare. I really need to work on getting good in one area, get ninja level, okay? Jedi. Okay? I would love that. And I'm pushing myself to get to that Jedi level in certain key areas and accept the fact that, okay, I have interest in these areas, but I can't do it all. And that's okay. And this is something that especially the DIY movement has created in us, right? We're everything. We're the promoters, and the musicians, and the distributors, and the social media managers. And meanwhile, what's really important, ourselves and our well-being, just kind of falls to the wayside. And we're tired and we're exhausted. Again, everything ties back to mission, to purpose. So this is why I'm advocating for this. Start thinking about, why am I doing this? And that doesn't mean that's going to erase you being tired and you being stressed out and all of that, but at least you know why. If you're going to be a struggling artist, know why. Okay, I'm doing this because I know 5 years from now, I want to have X amount of experience under my belt, and I want to have this collaboration going, and I want to build this label, and I want to have my party be the hottest party in Berlin, and I want to have my collective thriving and making partnerships with other collectives. Whatever it is, the struggle, make it worth it. You cannot make it worth it without knowing why. Okay? So this is my message for today, and I want you to think about this idea of worth and value again from the inside going out. Now, relating this back to the outside world, to realities of what you're dealing with as a creative person, is, let's just say, in a perfect world, you got all your values together, you got your thing together, yeah, I'm on top, I'm multitasking, doing all kinds of things. Okay, how is this going to relate to you getting the things that you want? Once you get this thing together inside, you know, who's ever felt you're walking down the street and you're like, you know, I'm feeling good today. Right? Yeah? Like, I got my look is perfect. I'm feeling good. Doesn't your day go a lot smoother? Even when crap happens to you, you're like, get over there, drama. I'm good today. You're not going to mess up my day, right? Right?
Yeah.
Imagine feeling that way as a creative person, right? Feeling that way when some promoter is telling you, oh yeah, right, we did say we're going to give you this budget, but no, we're not. Okay? We did think you were going to get this grant to make this movie, but maybe not. This is the shield that's going to give you a pathway to survive this thing and thrive in it and sustain yourself. Because this is a long game. This is why I said, for all of y'all, if this is not your passion, this is not something you're committed to, then maybe this conversation, what I'm giving, is not for you. But if you're like me, and you're committed to what you're doing, and you're dedicated, and you're passionate about what you're offering the world, then this is about you. You have to think about the long game. How are you going to sustain this energy day after day? So, again, I say, from the inside in, think about these things. Think about this value. And then, when you present yourself, when someone says to you, hey, I want to offer you this gig, and I only want to pay you 100 euros to play 5 hours, you can say, hell no. No, I don't think so. Because you know what? I can do other things with my time that are worthwhile. They're going to give me more satisfaction. They're going to help me grow. as a creative person, and yeah, this is great, maybe this is an opportunity, or you can say, yes, I'm gonna do this, but under these conditions, so that I get something out of it too, right? Not just a drink. Okay, fine, I do it for 100 euros, but you gotta make sure I get X amount of posts on this other thing that I'm doing, so that I can